Hi everybody, welcome back to Darlingbrough Model Railway. I'm Richard. So, to start with, I owe you guys a massive apology. I'll be honest, there's been absolutely no work or no progress made on the layout in the shed at all this week. It's been frustrating. What I want to do is produce a fresh video for you guys every single week showing at least some progress of the layout. That's what you're signed up to see. So with that in mind, I decided I just needed to finish off a little few things on the layout so that I've got something to show you this week. What I've done is I've cut some more foam to replace the track bed where the rocky bridge section is going to go. Now obviously on each end there is the foam and the roofing felt, and I just wanted to make it level right the way across the other board. So I've just added some foam in. Normally people would use cork, but I've just used foam because it was fairly readily available. The reason I've done that is just to cover up any kind of screws and uneven bumps on the track bed. It just kind of gives the track a little bit more of a cushion to work with, and just basically reduces noise a little bit, because obviously if I am running a model railway late at night in a shed, the noise can travel and there's obviously neighbours and stuff like that. I just want to be a little bit careful and conscientious of other people. So all I'm doing is I'm just cutting it to size, and then what I'll do is I'll stick it down using PVA. Now one of the benefits of PVA, which I hadn't realised when I'd done the rest of the foam on the boards, is that PVA is actually really good to help seal the boards as well. I've actually had a few comments about that this week regarding sealing the boards, and quite a few people have said use PVA, it's really good, which has led me to think that I'm probably not facing the issues that I mentioned in the last video with lifting up all of the boards and repainting them all, because under all this is a thick layer of PVA, so that would help to seal the boards. Now what I might have to do is just run a bead around the front and maybe try and get some underneath as well, but I'm fairly confident that the moisture content in here is not particularly high, and I've also thought that another way that I can reduce the moisture is by getting a few of the little damp catchers and just put them in strategic areas under the baseboards as well, which will obviously attract the moisture probably better than the wood. So thank you to everyone who has been commenting about the best way to deal with the moisture in the shed. I really have appreciated all the feedback as well, so you know, it really is helpful. With regards to the fence guard that I blew up with the TNT last week, I'm going to use that on the outside of the shed come summer. Waste not, want not. I am feeling frustrated at the moment just with the layout in general. I've got to the point where obviously before I actually managed to get tracks set up and I had some couple of trains running back and forth, but since then obviously I've kind of like stepped back, and I've even kind of went back to the baseboards thinking about what I'm going to be doing with the baseboards, sealing them so that obviously they are a bit more future proof. I want to know if anyone else has had any kind of frustration when it comes to building a model railway. Have you ever got to the point where, you know, you kind of feel that you're getting somewhere and then you've maybe stopped and had to step back a bit and then take it back and lift things up and just, you know, rebuild things? If you have, by all means, I'd like you to share your story, share your comments down below. It would really help to know that I'm not the only person that gets frustrated working on a model railway. I have, however, been thinking about what I want to kind of do with it and do to it as I go forth. As I mentioned in the last video, I am not particularly happy with the drawbridge section, and I was thinking about what I can do to maybe improve it. Now I want to say a big thank you to David Ormrod, who messaged me through Facebook this week about the drawbridge section. He suggested that instead of having it as a lift up section, what I do is I just basically fix it in place and have it as a rigid fixed board so that it doesn't lift up, it doesn't go out the way, and I just basically duck under it when I want to go into the shed. It's a good idea, and I think operationally it would be really good, because I wouldn't have to worry about the mechanics of having track kind of separate and then kind of have to go back together and line up and be aligned so that it would work properly. The downside is obviously with the access to the shed itself. Now the reason I wanted to do a lift up section or a drawbridge section is because as it is a shed, unfortunately I don't have the sole use of it. Obviously I do have to store other things, like for example lawnmowers, tools and that sort of thing as well. So plus on top of that I do need access to get wood in and out and that sort of thing as well. So although it would be really good for the layout, access wise it wouldn't be particularly helpful because it would really restrict the access to the door. So I was wondering if anybody has any suggestions on any other ways that I can do this. One of the other ways I was thinking of doing it is, rather than having it as a lift up section, let's have it as a swinging out section, so it swings into the shed itself. That would be fairly easy to adjust because I could still use the same boards that I've got set up. All I need to do is basically create this hinges rather than on the top, it would be on the side. It might be easier when I kind of swing it into line tracks up, and I was wondering if anyone else has any layouts where they have used that kind of method. And by all means, if you have, drop me a link to the videos if you've got a video, or send me some pictures. You can do through Facebook or Instagram or any of the other social media. Drop me an email if you like, or as I say, you can leave comments down below. But anyway, thank you for all the comments and suggestions, everyone who has given me any feedback over the last few weeks. It really has helped. It's been really great. As I said, if you have got any comments and suggestions on what I can do with the drawbridge section, by all means leave a comment down below. Really happy to hear your suggestions. Maybe take some on board, that'd be great. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit subscribe. Do so, because obviously that means that you won't miss any of the updates on the layout. There will be updates, I promise. I am working on the layout. Hit the like button, and here are some more videos that you can watch as well with other content I've created. Some handy hints and tips on how to save money and build terrain. Oh my god, there's a huge spider. Run.